Okay, so now it's recording. So I'll be able to post all of this online for you guys. So if there's something you miss or don't understand, you'll be able to view it. Now, what I'm going to do first, let's talk about like where you're going to find the bulk of your information, and I'll always make an announcement. And in the announcements, you'll be able to see what's going on in the class. So this was just kind of a welcome. But there's a syllabus on here too, which is something that we'll go over in just a bit. This is the instruction to start Alex. And so you can notice that this is the class code. You'll have to have this written down in order to register for the class. But I'm giving you a 14-day access code to the class. Now, this just allows you to get started. I was hoping that since I'd opened the class early, that some people would potentially take advantage of the additional time to do the knowledge check. If you did that, you're way ahead because you already have an assignment for today that is 10 topics, and I'll explain how that works in a second. With today, those of you who haven't set it up, you'll have to do the knowledge check and do your homework. And the way I'm going to have assignments done is those assignments are always going to be due at midnight the day that they're assigned. Okay? But these are the 2 bits of information that you need for that. Then I want to also talk about the syllabus. And the syllabus is... just trying to get it to load, sorry. The syllabus has all the information that you're going to need for the course, and then the important dates of the class. So these dates aren't as big a deal as they once were because of, I don't know if you've heard about the EWs. And so with the EWs, what's happening is they're allowing you guys to have excused withdrawals at the end of summer. Let me look. There's some... I'm trying to get these texts so I can read them all. Sorry. All right. I just want to make sure I can see all your texts. All right, sorry. Okay. Okay. I'm always going to be available for you guys, and I think that's something that's going to be worthwhile and important. But the breakdown of the class is going to be like this, and I'll explain what topics and objectives are. And we don't have 7 exams. We're going to have 5 exams and a final, and the final is going to be in that bowl. The one thing that I did with this class is I made it so that 60% of your work in this class is going to be based off of effort, right? Doing your work and things like that, and not as much on exams, because it's more important to me that you learn than for me to test you on that material. Okay, so let me show you something. We're going to have modules, and this is an important thing for you. The modules are where I'm going to provide you with your information. So right here, this is our week. And in this week right now, there'll be the course expectations for what's going on. There's going to be a bio that you guys should do where it's just you talking about, it's just me getting to know you. And then the week 1 discussion is where you guys have questions that I want you to answer for each other. And then if you can't have those answered by each other, what you can do is actually contact me or come to these live sessions, and I will help answer those questions for you. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, I didn't know what all the V's were, but okay, cool. So, but the modules is where it's going to be. Now, there'll be another page, another little section here that will have the recordings for the day, and so that you guys have access to it, so you can rewatch if you miss anything, or if for some reason you can't make the live session. Okay. Now, what I really want to get to is the Alex piece. So if you guys click on that link, I won't click on it because if I do, it will send me to the actual class where you can see grades and whatnot, and I don't want to do that for you. So if you go to the link, you should go to this page. Obviously, you wouldn't have this here. But if you're new to Alex, you'd sign up now. If you already have an account, you can use that old account. It doesn't matter. The whole point to it is that you log into Alex and then use the information that I gave you from the announcements. So just going back here real fast. So for our class, this was the instruction. So you'll go to this, sign up as new, and then it's going to ask you for a class code. That class code, and I'll take you guys through it, would be this. I'll just copy it, put it in, and then you should see that when you log in, it's putting you in Math 53 for the summer. There's a course section, there's my name, and this is the time span. Now, we actually end on the 2nd, and we started on the 1st, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit extra time to be able to get into the course. Now, is everyone for those of you who haven't set up the course, I recommend that you do it now, just so that you're with me in terms of what's going on, if you can. And then what you're going to do is you'll confirm. It's going to ask you if you have an access code, if you have an Alex account. If you don't, then you'll click no. If you do, you'll log in, which is perfectly fine. So I'll click no, pretending that I don't have one. And then what it's going to do is it's going to bring me to this page. And this is important because it's going to ask you for your information. So first name, last name. But the email is the one that's super important to me. Please don't use your Rio Hondo email if you don't use your Rio Hondo email. Use an email that you're going to get emails from me so that I can reach you. Okay? Because our biggest form of communication for this summer is going to be via email and through the Zoom meetings that we have. So there is an access code. I gave you the access code. It's right here. This will give you access for 14 days so that you can be on Alex and not have to pay any money immediately. Part of the reason that I'm using Alex is also because it's fairly inexpensive. So when you go to set up your Alex account and pay for the access for the whole semester, I believe it's $25 for the whole summer, so that you guys have access to it for my course. I didn't want you to have to pay a bunch of money, and so it's part of the reason why I use Alex. I mean, I also think it's a great product, but yeah, it's really cost effective. So once you've done all this, you're going to end up in a page that looks like this, right? And some of you should have seen this already or gotten to this point. So it'll take you through this explanation of what Alex is, right? Yes, you could do that right away. If you've already bought an access code, you can already use it. It's good for 6 weeks. I shouldn't say this while I'm recording, but I'll say it anyways. You should have bought your codes through Alex instead of through the bookstore. It's more expensive through the bookstore. I'm just letting you guys know.
Thank you.
Oh, so it's 066? Okay. Cool. I'll get that fixed. Thank you. So many, so many things going on. Just buy it through Alex. It's cheaper than the bookstore. Now, once you go through this tutorial, it's just going to explain to you different things. So here's how you know there's notifications. This is suggesting what to do next. And then you'll have to do this tutorial. So when you go through the tutorial, it's going to explain to you how to do things like, okay, type the number 14. So I'll just show you real quick, right? Type the number 14, and then it says, oh, if you made a mistake, this will fix it, and you can do all these different things, right? Go through it. Please try to understand it. I'm going to skip that just for time's sake. Just all the different tools. And then once you've completed it, it'll be like, okay, you know how to use the tools on Alex. Great. Now, what we want you to do is take this initial knowledge check. Now, this knowledge check that happens here is something that is, it's not a test. It's not going to be anything that's going to grade you. It's just to find out where you are at in your learning for this course. So if you know stuff, great. If you don't know stuff, no problem. It's just for you to find out where you're at so you can move forward. Okay? And then it gives you this little tutorial, right? And then you take the test, right? There, it's showing you that's a calculator. The I don't know list, right? It's showing you these things. And then you'll click on Start Knowledge Check. And so the knowledge check is just simply going to ask you questions. Some that are simple, some that are hard. You can always click the I don't know if you don't know, but I would recommend that you try the problem, and better for you to get it wrong than for you to put the I don't know, because you may get lucky, or it may be a thing where you actually know more than you know. So by giving every problem a try, it will be beneficial. Now, I can skip the knowledge check, so I'm going to say I have this kind of knowledge. And then what's going to happen is, after you've done the knowledge check, this is what's going to pop up. And so it's going to tell you where you fall in terms of the categories in our course, right? So the grays are what's still needing to be learned. And there's 332 total topics in the class. So that's what we're going to do in a span of about 5 weeks. So it's going to take some work, right? It's going to take some effort, but it's something I think you can all do. It'll talk about the Alex Pie. That's this piece. And then it's by category, right? So there's 3 areas mastered. There's 3 more areas in this section. And then it's just all the different sections that you can look at. Then here's a timeline kind of telling you what's going on in the course in terms of days. We can see that our first module, or our first unit, is going to be due this Friday. And then we can look over here. This is the thing that's so cool. Our first module is due Friday. So that's 85 topics by this Friday. And I'm going to give you 10 topics as homework assignments every day. So that's only 50 of those assignments. So that means that in order for you to be able to get everything done, you're going to have to do a little bit more than 10 assignments a day. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes. I'm sorry, how many topics did you say in total? Is it 80?
So 85. Can you see my mouse?
The window's really small above our video that we see a view.
Oh.
It's about like 2 inches big above.
Oh, really? You can't expand it?
You know who knows how to do that is Professor Gutierrez, because he was having issues with that.
So it's small for you.
Yeah, it's like about maybe 2 inches. I can see your screen perfect.
Yeah. I think that's on your side. You can expand it on your side.
Yeah, I see the whole thing. Good.
It's taking up like the whole screen. I can see it perfectly fine.
Okay, I got it. Thank you guys.
Yeah. But okay, can you see my mouse?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's the big thing. Now, going forward, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to share my screen. What I'll do is I'll share my tablet, which will have a PDF form, and you'll see me actually writing and doing math problems. It won't be like this. Today it's just because it's the first day. Okay? So I'll actually be doing math for you guys, but I'll explain that in just a bit. So it's 85 topics. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So those 85 topics are to be due by Friday. So let me show you how that works. So what you do is you click on Start My Path. And this right here is the explanation of how to do these problems. So my recommendation is when doing these problems, I would take notes on this problem. So the very first time a new topic comes up, it's going to give you an explanation. So you see this explanation? So it's saying, okay, -12 and -7. So here's -12, here's -7. Well, numbers get bigger as you go to the right? So then -12 is to the left of -7, so it has to be less than. And so that's why it's less than. Right? 9 is to the right of 11, so then 9 is less than. And I would write this down so that when you do examples, so watch, I'll do an example. This right here explains, and here I'll show you. This here, once you've completed these things and filled them in, this will complete a topic for you. So I'll do it so you guys can see me complete a topic, okay? So, which is bigger, -2 or -7? Well, -2 is bigger, right? Is 2 bigger or 5 bigger? Well, 5 is bigger. Is 9 or -9? So I know it's that one. So then I'm going to check it. And then you'll see right here, see how it filled one of them in? Now, if I get the next two right, like if I get the next one right, it's going to fill 2 of them in. So let me do it. And I want you guys to see this. So -4 is bigger, -5 is bigger, and 11 is bigger, right? So watch, when we go here, this will fill in 2. Did you guys see that? Okay, now if I were to get one wrong, it actually takes one away. So you want to try to do these problems correctly because it'll be less work. If you click the explain and then get it right, it will only give you 1. So once you've taken good notes, use those notes so that you can get through the topics. So like here, let me get through it so you guys can see real quick. And then you'll see this topic will fill in. And now watch. One topic's done. And that would be a homework assignment. That would be one homework assignment out of the 10 that you need to do. And then you see how here it's giving me, all right, 10 more. I've got 9 more to do, right? But by Friday, I still have 83 to do. And you want to try to get as many of those topics done as possible. Now, I'm sure some people won't be able to get through them all, but it will, that is what the homework is going to be like. So if I continue my path, it'll be a new topic, right? And then you can drop down here and you can see there's other topics. There's a bunch. Let it load, sorry. So here's the different topics. You don't have to pick the topic that they start you off with, but notice that eventually it gets locked. So these topics are needed to be done before it unlocks other topics. Does that make sense? Okay, so then here, right, evaluating expressions, it's showing you if x is -4 and y is 7, it's showing you that you can plug them in to get your answer. So again, here, I would take notes on this, and you can even click on the order of operations so you can see how order of operations works, and then do the topic. So if you write down those notes, you can use them when you're actually doing this topic. Does that make sense? Someone was asking about how to do the curriculum. Does this help you?
I think about the was just the fact that it wasn't appearing yet because we have to do the knowledge test first.
Oh, yeah. Before you can do any of this, you have to complete the knowledge check. So that was part of the reason I opened it up early, because I thought some people would do it. And there's about 15 of you that have already done the knowledge check and are moving ahead, which is great, right? One of the things that I'll do for you guys too is if you work hard and you finish early, I'll let you finish or take the exams early. So the amount of work and effort that you put into it, I'll let you move faster. But I can't go slower because of the restriction with our time. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to all of you guys? Yeah. Okay, so that is Alex. Now, one of the things is you click on the home. Let's say that you want to review a topic that you've already learned. You could do that. You can click review. But the one bummer part is if you do reviews of things you already know, it doesn't count as topics towards your homework. It's just reinforcing your learning. Does that make sense? The other thing you can do is you can look at assignments so you can see what's coming. So here's the assignment, right? I did one piece, so I did 10% of it. And then you can look and see like by month and different things like that on there, so you can see what kind of things are coming. Your grade, you'll be able to see. So you guys can see all of that. It's all the things that you guys can see for your grades is all going to be on here. Now I'm also going to post things on Canvas, and Canvas is going to be your final grade because that has the discussion piece, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But you can see all of the stuff that's on here for Alex. Now, is this clearer for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, one of the things I want to stress too is every day I'm going to be on from 10:45 to 11:45 to answer questions or to hit on topics that people may be struggling with. But this class is basically, I'm going to set it up for you guys in such a way that you can basically work at your own pace. As long as you're doing your homework and meeting these modules, you should be golden. Does that make sense? And you can always see where you stand on the home page. It'll tell you where you are in terms of the assignment and where you are in terms of the module that you're trying to work towards. We okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now going back to Canvas, because I want to show you this. So real quick. So today, it's a bummer for those of you who are just getting started on Alex. You have the knowledge check, which is going to be just, I think it's 30 questions. And it's just do the best you can. And then you'll do your 10 topics to get your homework done. So today's kind of be a long day for you. But then going forward, all you're going to be doing is the topics. And then every couple of days, a knowledge check will come up to reinforce what you've learned. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there'll be times where you're going to have a knowledge check and it doesn't count towards homework, but it's just to reinforce to see where you're at in terms of your learning. Okay, now when we go back to the class, so what did someone said I had an error on my, there was a typo.
So on the announcements it's correct, but on the syllabus, see where it says DE066, it says 067 on the syllabus.
Oh, so this part's wrong on the
this
syllabus.
Part is correct
on the syllabus.
The announcements, but not on the syllabus.
Okay, so let me fix that real quick, just because then people will hate me, and that's the last thing I want. Oh, totally. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
No worries. I didn't have my glasses, so I'm like, am I seeing wrong?
No, I'm sure, trying to do all this stuff is, it's a whole new world. I appreciate you catching that. So that's a 6. Okay.
question.
Please.
When are we gonna be like? Because I know, like you said, that it's pretty much at our own pace and stuff. But regarding like Zoom meetings, how is that gonna go about?
Okay, so I'm going to be here. I plan on being here every day from 10:45 to 11:45, or I'm even willing to be here till class till 1:35 if people need me. Like if there's people asking questions, I'll stay on the whole time. I don't mind. But in this unique situation, I have some students who can't make the class, right? For whether it's they have children and they're at home now, so they for whatever reason, people are going to have more flexibility in terms of doing their work. I on here am going to be available for you guys every day to answer any potential questions you might have. So if there's a topic that you're like, oh, I couldn't do this topic, you can go ahead and
Like sign in.
come in and ask a question.
Yeah.
So someone asked, is there going to be a specific class lecture every day, or is it just Q&As? So what I'll probably end up doing, if people aren't coming on, I'll probably just pick 2 or 3 topics and talk on those topics and record it and post it in our modules. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But in terms of specific topics or specific lectures, I'm not going to be doing that for this summer session. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, if you guys feel like, hey, Montiel, we need help with this topic, believe you me, I'll spend 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you guys need. I'm going to try to meet you guys where you're at. So it's not going to be me being like, I have today's lectures are 5.1, we're going to talk quadratics. It's going to be, what do you need? How can I best help you? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so your grade in my class had a 5% for discussions, and here's where the discussions come into play. So I'm asking that you post questions and answer each other on the discussion board. And so what you're going to do is whatever questions you might have in terms of your learning, you'll post on the discussion board, and then I want you each to be answering each other on there. Does that make sense? So that way you guys can interact with each other. It's just an important piece so you guys can support each other. I saw someone in here had talked about the potential of setting up a study group. And I think that's great. You guys should do that. But just know that I'm also going to be super available to help you guys. And I mean, if push comes to shove and you needed me to meet you in the evening, let me know. I'm willing to do that. I want to be a benefit to you guys. That's my heart for this. This is why I became an educator, is I want to see people succeed. So, it's my pleasure. So please know that I want to be an asset to you guys. And there's no silly question that you can ask. I was a terrible math student when I was young. And but I never quit. And because I never quit, I ended up becoming a math professor. You know, if someone would have asked me in high school or told me that I was going to be a math professor later on in life, I'd have been like, they're nuts. I was terrible at math. I only got through first semester geometry in high school, and now I'm teaching high levels of mathematics to college students. I mean, it's insane where life can take you. But the discussions are there for you guys to do. I will check those every week. Notice that it's due on the 6th, so it's due on Saturday at midnight. With this flexibility, I'm allowing the weekends to be part of your work time. Clear on the times you're available. Okay, so cool. So in terms of if you have questions, you can email me through Canvas. That will come through to me. let me go back to Alex real quick. On Alex, if you're doing a problem and you get stuck, and thank you for asking the question, Christine. It's a big deal. Let's say you got stuck on this topic and you couldn't do it. You can click this email here, and what it will do is it will send an email to me. I'll let it load. So see how it's sent to me? You'll be able to put in your subject and whatever you want, but then at the bottom it attaches the question. Now, if you email me through Alex, unfortunately what it does is it sends it to my junk mail, so I'll miss it. And I don't want you guys to send me emails and think I'm ignoring you. So what I want you to do is I want you to CC yourself and then forward the CC that you've done to me through your private email. That way I get it. Does that make sense, Christine?
Could you go from the beginning about how you went to send it?
Yeah. So you're here and you see how there's this email center? You click on that. And what that does is it basically attaches a screenshot of the problem.
Okay.
So then I can look at it. But then CC yourself and then forward the CC to me. And then I can respond to that. Or if you want to go ahead and do another topic, the next day you can always ask me questions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because basically, I'm hopeful that you guys are able to go and ask me a bunch of questions, and we get to know each other via these Zooms, and you realize like, oh, we can do some work. And if you ask me about your topics and we work on them, you could be on here for 2.5 hours and just ask me questions as we're going and get your topics done. So I really strongly suggest that you guys take advantage of the time I'm offering you. For some reason, when I was working on the problems on Alex, it didn't let me put X. So, like in this problem, X won't work because what this problem is asking for is a number. So it won't let you type in something that doesn't belong. Oh, someone was asking that they were trying to put an X variable in, and it won't, like this problem isn't asking for X equals, it's asking for what's the number. So in this case, it'd be 2 times 5, which is 10, and then minus a -2. Well, the -2 with the minus becomes a plus, so it's 10 plus 2 is 12, and I can only type a number. It won't let me type in something that isn't supposed to be in there. Okay, if you could send me a screenshot of that when that happens to you, I'll be able to help you with that, okay? Yeah, just someone was asking about, I guess there was supposed to be an X and it didn't work out for them. It wouldn't let them do it, so we can get those issues resolved if needed. Now going back to the class, I will put daily announcements in just to be like, all right, guys, here are your topics here's your homework topics. But on Alex, you're going to be able to see on Alex, like if I go to the home page, every day when you sign into Alex, it'll have assignment. So like the homework today is assignment 1. Tomorrow it'll say assignment 2, and there'll be 10 topics, and it'll say it'll be due at midnight. So your homework will always be on the homepage on Alex. Now, to get your work to be able to be synchronized with your gradebook on Canvas, always log in through this link. Okay? If not, don't worry, I'll upgrade it manually, but if you go through here, it'll update your grades on Canvas as well as on Alex. Okay? Do you guys have any questions for me? Like, does it seem pretty clear? Like what?
I came kind of late to the class. I was having trouble signing in, But can you explain again how I can access to Alex?
Oh, sure, that's no problem. So, the one thing that you're going to need to do is click on the link that gives instructions for Alex.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a course code, right?
Yes.
You're going to need that, and you're going to need this access code.
Oh, okay.
Okay? You're going to need both of these. So, then when you click on the Alex thing, it should take you to, let me go back. It should take, well, let me even go further back than that. Take you to a page like this.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never used Alex before, you'll click on sign up now. And there you'll need the class code, which will be this one.
Okay.
And then once you type in all your information, it'll ask you for a financial aid code. That'll be this one. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I hear that we have to buy something.
So you'll eventually have to buy the course. So what ends up happening is you'll, on here, mine doesn't have it because I have a master account. When you click on this menu bar here, at the bottom, it'll say manage course, right? Or manage classes. Is that what it says for you guys? I think it says manage classes. You'll, from there, you'll be able to purchase the access code for the full semester or for the full summer, and it's about $25.
Okay.
Yeah, I try to get you the most inexpensive thing that I could, because I understand it's a different time, but that's how you'll be able to do that. And if you have any questions or issues with that, we can meet privately and I can show you how to do it. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. So once you guys are all set up, if you have any questions, I'll be available all day. If you email me at gmontiel@riohondo.edu, I get that email on my phone and I can reply to you guys like that. I'm really good about replying to emails. The one thing that I do want to do today is I want to keep things short because I want you guys to get on Alex to do the knowledge check and then to complete your homework for today. Okay? Do you guys feel okay with this? Like, are you feeling a little bit more comfortable with what we're doing?
Yeah. So today, what's gonna be due is the 10 topics.
That's
right?
it. Yes. So you'll do the knowledge check if you haven't done it, and then these 10 topics. And I just showed you how to go through that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then go ahead. You guys can get to work. And if you have any questions, this link is actually live or active till 1:35. So if you want, I can even meet you and come back to this link again later if you have some questions today. The module for today is due tonight, or not that module. The 10 topics are due tonight by midnight. The 85 topics, which these 10 will be included in that, are due by midnight on Friday.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. On that note, I'll stop here. I'll stop the recording so that other people can get to their work. And then if you need anything, please just let me know. All right?
Okay.
I honestly want us to be successful as a whole, as a group. I want you guys to learn, and I want you guys to succeed. And I hope that I can prove to you that I'm going to be an asset to you guys, okay? All right. All the best. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.